Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. Jeanette McCurdy tried to help me when I met her. I lived in a very toxic home and I was barely allowed to watch TV. Whenever I would watch iCarly. But after one episode, I was always grounded and sent to my room. It went on like this for 3 years. I was locked in my room, told I can come out only to be sent back minutes later and not be allowed out. I wasn't even allowed to eat, so because of that, I ended up getting an eating disorder. Not one where I won't eat food. More like I ate too much, or I ate things that weren't even food. I ate grass to the dry wall in my room. I even resulted in eating in my hair once. I'm out of the phase now because my stomach is all fucked up from all of what I ate. My stepdad was horrible and he worked at a convention center down in Sandy, Utah. He was the janitor, and when he heard that Jeanette McCurdy was coming down for a signing, he came home and told me and my sister. He referred to her as that Sam Puckett girl, rather than her full name, and he would always say I won't ever meet her unless I do stuff for him. So I did. The day I got to meet her, he kept his hand on my shoulder and didn't allow me to do any activities. We were just there for the signing and leaving. I began talking with a girl my age who was super hyperactive but also really sweet. Whenever I would get excited with her, he'd squeeze my shoulder, a sign for me to calm down and shut up. When I got to meet her, Jeanette told me that the girl in front of me was so sweet, and I told her, I know. I wish I can be excited like her, and my stepdad squeezed my shoulder and I just held out my paper for her to sign, and we took a photo together. Right as she put her head next to mine, she asked me if everything was going okay at home. I said everything was fine. Being a child, I really did think it was fine. And she nodded and let me off the stage as the next family came up. Right after, I got beat and yelled at for embarrassing him in his workplace, and I was never allowed to watch iCarly ever again. The last episode one watched was the one with the great tasting pie, I believe. Jeanette McCurdy, if you're somehow reading this, thank you for noticing. I was invisible to everyone when I was being mistreated by my stepdad. No one in public ever asked me that, and it meant a whole lot. I am in a much better place now, and I hope you are too. I listen to your podcasts and I 100% fully support you and what you choose to do. Edit. Correction. Her name is Jeanette McCurdy. It was so late at night and this was constantly on my mind. Especially after she came out about her experience working at Nickelodeon. And I just was too tired to even look up how to spell it. Assuming my dumbass knew. So I fully heartedly apologize to Jeanette for spelling her name completely wrong, and I tried to fix it as much as I can. I can't fix the title, sadly. Thank you all for the overwhelming support that everyone has sent me. I really don't know how to feel about it. I have a mix of happiness of being noticed but also fear of being noticed. IDK. It's a mixed feeling I'm sure we all can agree on. End of story. Next story. I stopped going to my tattoo artist because he started to act sexually towards me. I have about 60% of my body tattooed, and I had a great tattoo artist who had done almost every tattoo I have. He tattooed me like 3 years and we became friends. About 6 months ago he did my chest tattoo, and at the same time he was tattooing me I noticed that his hands touched places that should not be touched. He acted like it was accident every time. I started to feel uncomfortable. After he was done I decided not to go take tattoos from him anymore. After couple of weeks when I didn't contact him anymore, he started to text me. He sended me messages about how he will tattoo me free if I send him nudes or answer his dirty questions. That was the moment when I blocked him everywhere and started to look another tattoo artist im. Kinda ashamed that I let him touch me like that while tattooing, but I was totally freezed. Edit. Thank you so much telling me that I should report him. I was little scared to do it before. But no, I know it's the right thing to do. Also, you guys are so lovely. End of story. Next story. This is a confession for my mum. We grew up dirt poor. My mother struggled to feed us as she would like, but managed mostly. One Sunday my dad went to the pub. He usually came back after a couple of pints, or when he was spent up. This one time he didn't come home for the Sunday dinner of fried chops. Mum just served it up to us kids and we all got plenty. We left nothing but fat in the pan. Dad came in a lot later steaming drunk and just fell into his chair. He soon got to shouting for his dinner and I remember my mum watching him from the kitchen. Soon he was snoring away loudly. She crept up to him and rubbed his mustache with the chop fat. When he woke up a couple of hours later, he started shouting for his dinner again. Mum said, "You're drunk, Jack. You've had your dinner. Look at the fat you've got dripping onto your best shirt." He got up and stumbled to bed. End of story. Next story. I want to see someone Naruto running towards Area 51 so bad, just imagine that. I literally have been praying every day for this to happen. End of story. Next story. I took a job as a weight loss product salesman to meet big women. I'm gonna be honest. I like chubby girls. Even really big women. When I was 19, I got a job at this company that sold diet products. I worked as a traveling salesman. They'd have me take the products and go to clients' houses and demonstrate the products to get them to buy it. However, I didn't actually sell anything. I'd start off pitching the products. But then I'd turn it around and start flirting with them. It worked out. Most of the time. They basically paid me to hit on plus-size women. Everyone told me it was sleazy. But hey. End of story. Next story. Teacher got me good but took 24 years to figure it out. First grade fumble. So in the first grade my teacher gave everyone an assignment to go home and take notes on water boiling. Come in the next day and find out half the class was told to boil the water on high heat with salt in the water, the other half to boil theirs in medium heat. My confession is it took me until today at 31 years old to realize the kids who were told to add salt on high heat were all the best, most attentive students. Us half-heaters were the talkative troublemakers. Long story short, the teacher's form of payback was forcing us assholes to go home and watch water boil twice as long as the respectful kids. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.